Here now, a man who has been through more Supreme Court Senate confirmations than anyone we know anyway. Utah Senator Orrin Hatch. He's Senator Finance Committee Chairman, Senate Judiciary Committee member, and really the dean of the Senate. Let's face it, Senator, you deserve it. This is going to be your fifth, if I'm not mistaken, this will be your 15th confirmation hearing. Somebody told me that you participated in the confirmation of every sitting justice in the Supreme Court. Is that true?
That's true.
Wow. Well, I imagine the process has changed a bit from your first confirmation hearings. I mean, those seemed a lot more civilized than what we have now.
Yeah, they were a lot more civilized, and it's gotten to be to where it's a big political war every time somebody comes up, and I really feel badly about that.
You know, we were thinking back to where it all started. I think of Robert Bork. That famous phrase, "You've been borked," means that you were treated unfairly by whoever's questioning you. But there was Clarence Thomas really sticks out in my memory. In fact, my wife and I had just recently been married when he went through. We sat with awe at that confirmation hearing. He fought back, and he did so successfully. That's why he's still on the Supreme Court. Let me just play a little soundbite for those who may have forgotten.
This is a circus. It's a national disgrace. And from my standpoint, as a black American, as far as I'm concerned, it is a high-tech lynching for uppity blacks who in any way deign to think for themselves, to do for themselves, to have different ideas. And it is a message that unless you kowtow to an old order, this is what will happen to you.
Now, of course, the race element is not there with Kavanaugh, but I'm wondering if it could get as hot as it did with Justice Thomas.
Well, I hope not, because Kavanaugh is an excellent person. He's a very, very good lawyer, a very good judge. He's got a 12-year record on the second highest court in the nation, the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals. I mean, there's no real reason to be against him, but I hate to say it, but our Democrat friends seem to want to make every one of these battles a cause celeb, and I hope that they get off that kick and do what they should, and that is confirm this really good man who's, I think, going to be a terrific judge on the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals.
Well, I don't think they've gotten off of their high horse, frankly, Senator. You look at Terry McAuliffe, the big DNC chief. He used to be a governor of Virginia, used to be an advisor to President Clinton. He wrote out a tweet saying the nomination of Judge Brett Kavanaugh will threaten the lives of millions of Americans for decades. Threaten the lives of millions. I mean, if that's not hyperbole, I don't know what is.
Well, it's ridiculous is what it is, and it's beneath the dignity of anybody serving up here to use that kind of language, especially with Brett Kavanaugh, who is really a very, very competent lawyer, lots of experience, totally honest, somebody we can rely on, and somebody who I think will make a very, very good Supreme Court justice.
By the way, to the point of his honesty, we just got word from Market Watch at the detailed analysis of how much money he has. He doesn't have a lot of money. He'd be the poorest justice sitting in the Supreme Court. And if somebody with those contacts that he has been in Washington his whole life, is not rich, he's one of two things. He's either dumb, which obviously Kavanaugh is not, or he's extraordinarily honest, which apparently Judge Kavanaugh is. With all this stuff against him, though, and as I mentioned with McAuliffe, they're all lining up as we speak to bork him. Can he get through? Can he be confirmed?
Well, he can. He's totally honest. He's a decent guy. I think he'll actually win people over. But the Democrats are playing politics on these judges, and they shouldn't do that. I don't want to see Republicans get the way to do the things that they're doing to our judges. And you know, there's a lot of infighting with regard to judges in the United States Senate, and I think it's a terrible disgrace between you and me.
And Senator, you're going to be meeting with him tomorrow. What are you going to be telling him?
Well, I've already met with him, and I've already had, you know, I've known him. I helped him with his original confirmation, you know, and he's done a very, very good job. I'll be working with him. I'll answer any questions that he has, and I'll make some suggestions on how he might handle this. And I don't think he's going to need any suggestions. He's a very, very competent guy. He's a decent, honorable guy, and I think he just has to get that across, and I think the American people are going to get pretty irritated if the Democrats try and play politics with a man as nice as this man is.
Your 15th confirmation. You know, it may not be your last, Senator. Everybody's saying there could be another one. Who knows? So you might have a 16th.
I think there will be another one, and we'll just have to see. But this man deserves to be confirmed. I don't think any honest, decent person observing this scene would conclude otherwise. And he certainly deserves a chance to be heard. And I'm hoping that my Democrat colleagues will get off their kicks and let's start getting back to where we were before, when decent people were able to have a really good hearing and be supported by both sides. And I'd like to see that happen again.
Senator Orrin Hatch, great to see you, Senator. Thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it.